day, my loves. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a beautiful day. I kind of lost my voice a little bit last night, not feeling so well. I woke up this morning to have some tea so that I can talk to you all. So by the title here, this particular video, I want to talk about how codependency played a very huge role in me not realizing my fullest potential and how I'm honestly regretful. I don't regret a lot of things, but I think this is one of the things in my life at this point that I regret, and that's not walking certain parts of my journey alone. I understand that everything sort of happens in its own time and for its own reasons. But I can honestly say that this happens to be one of the regrets that I have. I often feel like I'm supposed to be a lot further in life on my journey, in my own growth. However, I was very hung up on relationships, fixing them, curating them, and breathing life into them when they didn't necessarily benefit me. And it has nothing to do with the specific type of relationships, though romantic relationships definitely played a very big part. Just relationships in general. I am under the understanding as well that there are certain things and relationships that possibly needed to be uncovered and dissected in order for me to grow as a person. And just having that realization within myself that, there were certain parts of me that those relationships were reflecting that I should be working on. So, knowing that, it's not as if I regret having certain relationships. However, I wish I was better at compartmentalizing relationships. I take my family very seriously. When I am involved with someone, I take that very seriously. And unfortunately, those two particular things um, have shown themselves to be very they're they distract me, for lack of a better word. They're very distracting to my personal growth. I harp on a lot of things when it comes to those two particular, aspects of life, possibly because, you know, it's been very hard for me to find even footing in those particular two aspects. Though my family life has improved significantly, there are things that I wish that I can do, just for my family, with my family, and we just haven't gotten there yet. And you know what? That's okay. I'm now to the point where I understand how to compartmentalize in order to make myself a priority and not allow those particular aspects of life to bleed into everything else that I'm doing, in regards to my self work. And another thing that a lot of people don't necessarily think about is even the work that they're doing, how you're spending majority of your day, what job you're going to. That has definitely played a big role in me not necessarily fulfilling my absolute purpose in this particular lifetime and reality. So getting to a place where I'm able to afford myself and I'm able to afford where I'm going. And that is enough for me because I can't have a job that is pulling me in every single direction or weighing on me emotionally and mentally where I cannot pour into myself. So ultimately, when I say that I wish I would have, these are times that I wish I would have walked alone. I wish I just would have, did certain things on my own. It has nothing to do with the company that I was keeping per se, but the feeling of needing to have someone to hold my hand through certain aspects of life or holding on to certain people and things that weren't conducive to my growth, holding on to trauma that, I could have easily resolved, but it felt comfortable. It felt comfortable. It gave me a way out, when I looked at myself and I realized, hey, some time has passed and there's things that you want to do. There's a person that you're waiting to become, but you haven't put your best foot forward. You haven't done the work. And I give myself a way out by saying, oh, yeah, well, this happened to me. This traumatic experience happened to me. Or I was too busy trying to be happy in this relationship. Or I was too preoccupied with work to make this happen. Or, you know, and it gives me a way out of realizing that I've been stagnant, I've been procrastinating, and I'm afraid of failing. And the one thing that I know would make me a complete human, and that's going after the things that I want, going after the person I want to see myself as. Everything that I do with purpose. However, this one aspect of life has just been collecting cobwebs, unfulfilled dreams and visions, simply because I'm trying to keep it all together, things that I have no control over, people that I have no control over. The only thing that I have control over is myself. So now here it is. I feel as though I've reached some sort of milestone. And I can honestly say my mindset, all in all, has changed. There was a shift somewhere for me that I realized the codependency that I was holding on to, it did nothing for me. I don't know what it is. Now that it's hindsight and it's 2020, I can't even say what that is. Like, I can't put it into words, but there's this thing in the middle of codependency and abandonment that makes people feel safe with themselves. It's like being in that anxiety stricken state at all times, dealing with, you know, whether it be like a job or a relationship or family member, it's like being in that anxiety stricken state. It's a sense of comfort almost in a weird way. It's almost like it's a sense of comfort. Like if I don't feel anxious within my body, I don't feel like myself. I feel like a shell of myself. I feel as though I'm not really feeling anything at all. So it's like either I'm stricken with anxiety or I'm numb. And it's just such a weird place because now that I'm growing more in myself, I know what it feels like to actually be normal, not to have like those extreme highs and those extreme lows and self deprecating thoughts. Like, I'm really getting to a place where I know what it feels like to be normal. To be honest, I don't think I've ever been normal. And who's to say that this is even normal? But this is what I figure that everybody else feels, those that don't necessarily suffer with any sort of dysmorphia or anxiety or depression or any of those, you know, lines of thoughts and mental capabilities. It's just, we just, I just like, how can I put this into words? It's feeling as though it's like home for a lot of people, especially if this is resonating with you. It may feel like home. Like you probably don't feel much like yourself unless you're in some sort of emotional roller coaster, even if it's one that's self induced, even if it has nothing to do with anyone or anything outside of you. You will feed yourself thoughts or you'll feed yourself dreams, aspirations. You'll let your mind go with those things. Yes, I want to do this and I want to do that and I want to be her and I want to be him. And it's like you'll feed yourself with all of the joy and excitement and everything that you wish to be and to become and the lifestyle and the financial status. It's like you'll feed yourself all of these things only then to take yourself on the other end of the roller coaster and say to yourself why you don't deserve those things, how you can't be that person, or line up everything about yourself that doesn't fit the build of what you're trying to create or who you're trying to become. And it's in those moments we then find a more suitable comfort, not one of the dream life or actually going towards those goals, but you find a suitable comfort in a relationship that isn't 100% of what it could be, that boyfriend or girlfriend that is not 100% of who you would like to be dating. You go and you get comfortable at that job that's paying you just enough And you go to your family life and you say, well, hey, people are going to be people and I can expect them to grow. And, you start making excuses to get back into a comfortable place. It's like you take yourself on this wild roller coaster ride and then you result to settling. And the settlements that we choose, those are the things that I'm referring to when I said that I should have been walking this alone. Because when you have nothing to settle for, you're faced with some hard truths. There is no plan B, there's only plan A or failure. So it's all of the things that I've settled for, all of the places that I've settled for, all of the people that I've settled for that I wish I had forced myself to get rid of a long time ago. Like I wish I had forced myself to burn those bridges. So there was no way out of between me and my goal, there is no other way out. There is no other comfortable resort. Like there's times where I thought that I looked my best and I would take pictures and there's always somebody in the picture. Like there's always somebody in the picture. I look at a picture and I look at myself and I say, "Oh, that was such a great picture of me. That's such a cute photo." But there's always somebody in the picture with me. And I wish that I was in the picture by myself at my best because it's not the person that I'm necessarily regretting, but I just wish I had savored that outfit, that hair, that makeup. I wish I had savored that for myself. I wish I had given myself the time to shine and be front and center so that when it's time for me to use that photo, I don't have to go and crop out all of the noise. I wish there were a lot of photos in my catalog. There's a lot of photos that I just wish to myself that I had taken the opportunity to just enjoy myself, enjoy my journey by myself, with myself, enjoy a picture by myself, not feeling like I need a security blanket with me at all times. The only pictures I really have of myself, and this is me talking very candidly, the only pictures that I have of me by myself is selfies. Like these are things that I've taken for myself. It's like I've never put myself in the position to not only for me to bask in my glory and to accept where I am and who I am, but I've never allowed that for the people around me either, or the situations around me either. I get to a place I just get really comfortable and I go to the most comfortable place. And it didn't allow me to grow because now every picture that I think that I look good in, it's always attached to someone. I don't know what I would have looked like in that picture by myself. So now that I don't know what I look like in a good photo by myself, when I do finally start taking photos by myself or videos by myself for myself, and I really start to look at who I am, now it's possible that I've seen the truth. That maybe I didn't necessarily like the picture because of how I looked. I liked the picture because I was comfortable. I was relaxed. I didn't look tense. I didn't seem frustrated or flustered. I didn't look like I didn't know what I was doing because I'm used to having someone there. I'm used to having something there to mask the insecurities, to mask the imperfections. It's really hard for me to accept that because now when I'm looking at myself, now when I do take pictures by myself, I am seeing everything. I am seeing the ways in which I didn't grow. I'm seeing the ways in which I didn't take care of myself. I'm seeing the ways in which I didn't love myself. I didn't nourish myself. I'm not a complete and whole human being by myself. And I'm working through that right now. I'm working through it and I'm doing my best. There's nobody that can do this for me but me. There's no hand that I can hold in this moment but mine. The only person that is walking me through this journey is me. No one else can be that involved. There's not that much motivation in the world that someone else can give to you that is going to make you feel worthy, because that enabling somebody who's already anxious and codependent, it's only going to make them feel more worthless. When you pull away or you're giving them space, now they have something else to harp over. I understand that now about myself. This is something that I have to do alone. This is something that I have to do for myself. For one, I'm too proud to have anybody take credit for what I'm about to do. That's first things first. And secondly, I can't allow anyone to take it away from me if they decide to leave. This is very personal. I need to take all of the credit because I've been through all of the stress. I've been through the strife. I've dug myself out of holes. I don't even know how, but I did it. And there's just no way I can allow someone to walk out with all of my things because I've built this fake persona, or I've leveled up myself in regards to them. Because if they leave, or if the situation changes, or if I lose the job, or if I get another job, or if I lose the channel, like it is so personal to me that outside of everything else that is connected to me, it cannot hold any weight in the journey that I'm embarking on. Again, you guys, just sharing my thoughts. I thought this was something that someone can benefit from. If you can, please like, share, subscribe. It's been a beautiful conversation with beautiful people, and I'm so glad that you all are here. Take this message and apply it to yourself. Start that journey. Hold your own hand and get all of the extras out of your pictures. Until next time, peace.